Thank you. Today I get to introduce Amy Braat. Amy Braat is working on Project 3 today. This project is entitled Get to the Point. She will present the speech without notes for the purpose of informing the audience about how to run a successful crowdfunding project. To complete the goals of the project, the speech will be organized in a manner that best achieves its own purpose. There will be a beginning, body, conclusion that will reinforce the purpose of this speech. She will project sincerity, conviction, and control the nervousness that she might have. Timer, this will be a 5 to 7 minute speech. Everyone, please help me welcome Amy Braat.
Ready? Crowdfunding. It can be spelled as one or two words, your choice. It's got a lot of other different names, but what we're going to focus on today is crowdfunding a project, because it also is used to crowdfund a business, and when you need equity to start a business. But we're going to focus on the project aspect of this and how to run a successful crowdfunding project. So first off, you need to define your project. What are you going to do or make? There's lots of different things that you can do. You can, if you're a singer or a musician, you can do a CD. You can write a book. You can get funding for some sort of widget that you've come up with, or a resolution to some problem that you've come up with that you can then sell to other people to solve the same problem. But you need to have some sort of physical model of it. For instance, if you're doing a music CD, you need to have some sort of recording to prove that you actually can sing and are a decent band. And people would want to fund you. If you're writing a book, you want the proof of the book. If you have a widget, you need to have an actual prototype of the widget to have a successful project. And we're going to go on a little deviation here because it's very important to the project, and that is all about rewards. Because crowdfunding, what they're going to do is you're going to ask all sorts of people on the internet to give you money. And in return, you're going to give them something, which they call a reward. And that can be anything from, if they donate $1, you send them a thank you email, to $10,000, they come have lunch or dinner with you. Whichever. You figure it out. That's part of the project, is figuring out what kind of cool, awesome rewards you're going to have to motivate people to fund you. Usually they're related to your project. If you're making a widget, your reward can be you get a widget. If you're writing a book, it can be you get a copy of the book. PDF, actual physical copy, your choice. So rewards are very important to be unique and original to motivate people to fund your project. Now the next step is money, and it's all about the money. You need to figure out how much this project is going to cost you. And part of that was done in the previous step with having your widget. If you've already gotten your prototype or your proof of your book, you have an idea of how much these are going to cost you. So now that you've got that, you then need to figure out what the final cost of the project is, what the minimum order of the book or the widget is, and figure out how much you're going to put in. So if you're making the object, how much is it worth it to you to make it? If you only get one backer, is it really worth it for you to go and make one item? So you have to figure out where that line is. And if, depending on which website you go to for your crowdfunding, there are a lot of them, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, depends on how much funding you actually get. Because you can set it up with Kickstarter, you either get 100% of your funding or you get none. With Indiegogo, you can get partial funding. So if you need $5,000 to make these widgets for the minimum order, and you only get $4,900, then you get nothing off of Kickstarter. But at Indiegogo, they just take a higher percentage of their fees. So it's a fine line of how much of your own money you're willing to put in there for that $5,000 project. If you're willing to put in all of it yourself, and you're going to do this no matter what, because it's the most awesome widget ever and you just know it's going to sell, you could put in a $50 one. And then if you only get 2 or 3 backers, you obviously pay the rest of the to finance this yourself. So it's just, where is that fine line and how much are you willing to finance your project yourself? Obviously, if you don't want to put any of your own money in, you make it $5,000, and if you only get $4,900, well, tough luck. And then the final step is knowing your market. If you're making some sort of awesome widget, you need to get on the forums and the boards online and start talking about that widget. You can put up pre-designed plans and get people's opinions on them. People love to give you opinions online. The only problem is the patent laws are now changing. So the first person who submits a patent, if it's a patentable item, can steal it from you. So you want to be a little bit careful of submitting those items online. Where currently, for the next few months, the first person who has documentation of that item gets the patent. So they are changing. But if it's just like a little, nothing big, nothing really worth patenting, you can get ideas, get information, get people excited and motivated to fund your project. And that starts to give you backers right off the bat. So you're not hoping that people just stumble upon it and help you out. So the three main steps. You need to know what your project is and define it. Have awesome rewards, which is a sub-step of that. Number two, you need to know how much money, how much things are going to cost. And number three, you need to make sure that you've got a crowd that's interested in it so that you can have a successful crowdfunding project. Thank you.